Good morning, mask fans and monster lovers. Yeah, good morning to you too. Yeah, hi. Good morning. Welcome once again to Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady. I, of course, am Omar the Tent Maker, and today's mask... Did I tell you we talk about masks on Creepy Cheapies? We do. Today's mask, wow, a really scary one. Really scary one. This one came out, I believe, in the 2018 to 19 season, 2018-2019 season. Look at this monstrosity. Boy, this is a scary one. And it's called, now you're going to be careful. You're going to want to be careful here. The caption zombie, please be careful. This is called the Heer zombie. What did he just say? Heer zombie? Like H-E-R-E? Like as opposed to a there zombie, it's a here zombie? Or like people say when they see cats and they go, here kitty kitty, like you go, here zombie zombie zombie. Here boy, here zombie zombie. No, please, don't ever, in the interest of your own safety, don't ever say, here zombie. Don't encourage zombies to come to you like you would a kitten, okay? You know how zombies are. You don't want to encourage them to get close to you. You give them an inch, they'll take your foot. So be careful with that. But the Heer zombie is also not spelled, it's not spelled H-E-R-E, and it's also not spelled H-E-A-R, like it's a Heer zombie, like you can't see him, you have to hear him, or he has to hear you. No, not H-E-A-R either, although if we're talking about the sensory reception, he looks more like he'd be more of a smell zombie than a hear zombie, you know. But no, this particular type of hear is H-E-E-R. What's that? Well, that's a German word that basically means army. Okay, so calling him a Heer zombie, H-E-E-R, is like saying soldier zombie or army zombie. Okay, and as you can probably tell, he's not just from any army, he is a German army type of zombie. Ja, ist das nicht ein scary mask? Ja, das ist ein scary. Yeah, let's take a look here. Look at this monstrosity, oh my goodness, and the only thing I did, and I did cheat a little tiny bit, just one thing, and I will show you where I cheated. Sometimes I work on these a bit. The only thing I did to this guy, I did not do any of this stuff, the blood and the shading, and you see these little tiny veins here and there? That's really awesome for a mask in the $45 to $60 price range. I think that's pretty great. I did not do any of that. I did not do the blood. The only thing I changed was right above this eye. Do you see that? I added that black paint right above the eye, and let me stick my hand in there and show you exactly. Just because the paint on this particular copy sort of stopped there, and you see that? Okay, right there. I put that black along the top there because I don't think it was a deliberate artistic decision to let white unpainted latex show there. I think this particular copy of the mask, you know, had an oversight. I think that was an oversight. And I just now realized, too late really, that I could have made a joke about that because oversight, see, it's right above where you look out of. It's right above his eye, so it's oversight. Okay, there are the ingredients to a pun there, but I'll just leave you to decide on the most effective way to word it. Anyway, the Heer zombie, and I hate to be that guy that says, oh, it looks like some other movie. I'm not saying this to make myself sound clever. I don't think I'm letting the cat out of the bag or anything like that when I say this guy was inspired by Colonel Herzog, a Nazi zombie from the movie Dead Snow and its sequel, Dead Snow 2, the sequel you did not see coming, and however many other sequels there may have been by the time you're watching this video. There were at least the first two movies, Dead Snow and Dead Snow 2, which were Nazi zombie movies. And yes, there were Nazi zombie movies long before that. My goodness, back in the 40s, back in the 1940s, there were Nazi zombie movies. What was one, you say? I think Revenge of the Zombies. Wasn't that a Nazi zombie movie with John Carradine? Yeah, he thinks it was. And then, of course, later on there was Gamma 693, aka Night of the Zombies, and there was Zombie Lake and Oasis of the Zombies, and there have been a bunch of zombie Nazi movies. I think The Bunker, wasn't that a Nazi? Yeah. Anyway, no, not Edith Bunker. No, just The Bunker. Anyway, This particular one is clearly inspired by the character of Colonel Herzog, an extremely evil and nasty and hateful, angry zombie who, now according to some experts and historians and so forth, wouldn't really be called a colonel, with his position being what it is. But some people go up into the snowy mountains and mess with some stuff that they shouldn't, some Nazi valuables, and Nazi zombies come up out of the snow and start tearing people apart in finest zombie tradition. And this hat is molded on here, it's not removable, it's all one piece. And look at the nice detailing on that. I will mention that the placement of his hat insignias, his pins, his decor of rank and so forth, and he is kind of rank looking, isn't he? On his hat are also very close to those worn by the zombie in the Dead Snow movies. The only major difference, and I know I said you're Colonel, no, you're not a major. No, I didn't mean major. The only major difference from this and Colonel Herzog's zombie countenance is really, in the movies, the Colonel, if that's what he is, has a pronounced underbite, and you just see these lower teeth and this big chin, and you don't see upper teeth. A little bit like Army of Darkness, Evil Ash. Remember, he had that with the teeth. He looks a little bit like that, or like a classic Wolfman, like he's going, so you just see bottom. And in this guy, you see all the teeth. And in fact, I wonder, now that I'm messing with him, I wonder, would this be one of those mouths that you can play with? Let me get in there. Let me get up in there and see if I can make him say something. Gute Lieben Glauben Globen. Ja? Nein. Why nine? Well, your teeth really are a little too close together for that to work super well, but it was a thought. Anyway, very scary mask, and would be great to wear with a Nazi uniform as part of your scary Nazi zombie horror movie or room in the haunted house. Ghoulish Productions, who came out with this beast in the 2018-2019 period. I almost said 1919. I know that sounds right to you, but we'll fix that at editing. No, we won't. Who am I kidding, right? Ghoulish Productions also makes a costume to go with it, or at least they did. I hope they still do by the time you're viewing this, which was pretty much a black Nazi-looking, you know, German army uniform of the World War II era with the proper markings and such. But it was just plain black, and they leave it for you if you want to mess it up, spook it up, zombie it up. So I would probably get some maybe talcum powder and sprinkle some blotches on it so it's sort of gray and misty looking. Maybe so you could add some brown paint here and there if you want it to look like it came up out of the mud, or some green, mossy looking, something to sort of age it and make it look sort of, you know, weather beaten, worn out and such. But great mask for in the $45 to $60 range, complete with hat. And how do we know it's a real Ghoulish Productions? Show you one last thing here. On the backs of his ears, you will notice, maybe you can't see that, maybe you can, I don't know. On the back of one of his ears, it actually says in tiny, tiny letters, Ghoulish Productions. Is that the one? Yeah, it is. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not, but take my word for it. On the back of the other one, it says Made in Mexico. And in the very center of the back is the official Ghoulish Productions logo, the little cartoon skull with the flames. So that's how you know it's the real deal. And I think they did a marvelous job with the hat and this thing being on there, being, you know, all molded in, all in one piece, and looking like it might be a separate piece. The pins look like they might be separate pins stuck in there, but they're all sculpted in. Pretty scary guy, the Heer zombie, especially if you're a fan of the Dead Snow movies or just Nazi zombie movies in general. And by the way, he has a couple of odd, you probably noticed this, little crimpy places in the hat. I first thought that was a flaw in this copy, this mask. Maybe it was packed that way and it was distorted out of shape. But after trying to stuff him into shape and stuff, I came to the conclusion that I think it's actually meant to look like that. It's molded and cast that way, with this being sort of uneven here. So I don't think that's a flaw. You know, if you try to pinch that to where the hat brim looks perfect in the front, it kind of pulls the rubber too much. So I think that was intentional, that it's a little droopy and irregular under there. Anyway, here's Zombie. For you, here's Zombie, courtesy of Ghoulish Productions. And gosh, looking at him reminds me of what my great-grandpa said right before he died. Yeah, he said, "You suppose this thing's loaded?"